All right, welcome to this week's training. My name is Kelly Vincent. This is Tina Malsom. We're coming to you live from Scottsdale, Arizona. We're excited to be here. I'm just going to open up this training with a thought. And the thought is everybody on here is on here for a reason. You joined APL Go for a reason. You have all your whys that you got excited about. You saw a vision for the future, and you've started. And the one thing I just want to talk about real quick, the best thing that you can do when you first get started is get results. When you get a win, when you get any kind of a result, that's going to build up your confidence. When you have more confidence, you're going to be able to talk to more people. When you talk to more people, they're going to join your business. And then you're going to be able to duplicate that confidence into your business. The longer it takes for you to get a win in this business, that's when self-doubt sets in. Now, self-doubt sets in for everybody. It happens. It's normal. You start second-guessing yourself. You know, people around you are waiting for you to fail. Don't worry about that. Tina and I have both been through that. In fact, everybody I've ever met that's been successful in this industry has gone through the self-doubt period. The difference is what you do when that happens, and that's the time where you want to make sure you answer your calls. So if your team leader calls you, you want to make sure to pick up the phone, or you want to check into a training, or make sure that you reach out to somebody because they're going to understand exactly what you're going through. So what we're about to show you is very simple. It's not difficult, but it's something if you do it consistently every single day. And even if you don't check off all the boxes, but it's something if you do consistently is going to grow your business. It's like the odds are in your favor that when you do these actions, it's going to get you some results. And that's just going to keep growing and building to where you're going to have no problem. The belief is going to be at an all-time high, and there's nothing that can stop you from the direction you're going in. So I'll just open that. That was the opener.
I just want to thank Daryl and Doug and Kelly Bauer, the geniuses who figured out how to get this
You guys are amazing.
into the chat box. So if you need to print this out, if you need to look at this, it is in the chat box right now. We will have them for you after as well. And I just want to begin with just a little story about how this came about in the first place. You know, I've been in this industry a long time, like almost 14 years, 13 and a half years now. And I had been in a company about 7 or 8 months. And, you know, have you ever heard or thought, you know, there's some people who just know the secret. They just know how to make network marketing work. It must be a secret. The leaders are hiding something from me because they're figuring it out and I'm not figuring it. Look at all the smiles. Everybody has felt that way because I felt that way too.
The lucky people.
I was like, what do they know that I don't know? I'm reading the same books. I'm watching Tony Robbins. I'm doing the same things. What is it that they're doing? Clearly I'm unaware of, right? And I will tell you this, as now a leader in the network marketing space, there is no secret. The secret of all those people that were successful before me was that they did the same things over and over and over. It was the mundane. You master the mundane. You do consistently. Persistence and consistency will build your business. And if I were to say, go talk to strangers every day, you're gonna be like, for how long? Forever. Because for the rest of your life, that's network marketing, right? But that's what will that's what will make your business. There is no secret. It's that I've discovered about 22 things that if I did them consistently every single day, not like on the weekdays, not just the weekends, not just when I feel like it, but every day, my business would build. So I created this sheet almost 13 years ago, and I have used this same sheet. And I'm a pen and paper girl, not this digital crap, right? People are so funny. They're like, well, if I make it digital and I use different colors, and I'm like, I just pen and paper, check marks. Don't make it complicated. Do what you need to do. It doesn't have to be complex, but you do need to do it. And that is the secret to making network marketing work. And we're going to go over it with you. So for 13 years, I've been using this same piece of paper. I've varied a couple of things on this side based on the company, based on their system, right? So a couple of things have changed. this company versus the last company. But this piece of paper here, printed out once a month and filled out every month for 13 years, has brought us to the top of 5 network marketing companies, top 1% of all of them. And if you ask me what is the number one thing that got me to the top of all those companies, the only thing consistent in all of them across the board was this piece of paper. So let's get started with the training. We're gonna do a little screen share so you guys can get a bigger view, and Kelly will actually be able to read it. And this is what we're starting with. Okay, slide 1. This is the sheet that we're on. Now, some of these things might seem silly. Some of them take some time, and some of them take like 10 seconds, but they are all equally important in their own way. And there's several things that this sheet is going to do for you. The first one is going to be, if you sit at your desk and you're like, I have my brochures, I have my catalog, I have my product, I got my website, and you just sit there and stare at your computer like, what the heck do I do now? That's what this is for, okay? So you take your little brain, DNA drop, pull this sheet out, and just start checking things off one by one. And we're gonna go over each of these one by one. So these are the 22 things you need to do down the side. Across the top are the days of the month, whether it's 28 or 30 or 31. And then we're gonna show you what it means at the bottom of the page and how to calculate all of this. But if you can put X's or check marks on a piece of paper, you're already ready to go.
All right, so the first one is, I think, one of the most important ones, because the hardest part about this business is working on you, yourself, your thought processes, all the ways that you've made it to this point and the things that you didn't want, right? You got to work on yourself to make that better. And reading, and it, to me, it's so simple now because you got Audible. If you're like me and you know, can't follow on a book and you skip all over the page and you read it like 50 times and you don't digest any of it, you know, Audible is perfect. And you can listen to Audible and get just about every book that is recommended to read right there on Audible, the app. In fact, you could buy 3 books for like $33 if you buy, you know, it's very inexpensive to do, but it's something you could start and stop at any point in time. This is the one I do every day. Every single day I listen to, in fact, I'm probably up to about 2 books a week is what I listen to on Audible. And I reward myself. I have a little game. I reward myself by listening to a book that's not a motivational book or self-help book. But it's very important. And the best part that I could recommend, and you guys could read the rest of this because I'm probably going too long already, is when you read something, when you read a chapter, take what you learned and instantly go try it out on somebody. Like, especially if you're going to make a phone call or do a cold call or talk to somebody you know about the business, use what you learned immediately and put it into action, because just reading about it and listening to books all day and all is great. But if you don't put some of that into action, it's not going to do you much good because you're going to be hyped up to go do it. So the second one is a networking group. This is one of the major ways I'd say I personally build my business. I love going and meeting people in person. This whole COVID thing has knocked me off my game for a little bit. But, you know, it didn't let it stop me because we just made networking groups here at our house.
Or online.
Yeah, and online. And what's great about that is you're constantly meeting new people to get in your pipeline, right? And I don't try and close somebody the first time I see them at a networking group usually. But I'm just building relationships. You know, you're finding people, you're getting to know some people, they're getting to know you and like and trust you, so that at some point in time, you can raise the bar on your questioning and talking to them about the business at some point in time, or you're listening for them to say something that you could talk about.
So the next one, and all the groups, by the way, all the networking groups we used to go to in person are now doing them all on Zoom. So we're still not missing out on anything. You're just doing it on your computer instead of person to person. The next one is make new social media contacts. in your space. That's the important part. Now, if you were to just go to, a random group and start friending a bunch of people for no reason, that's not what we're talking about. It's great to have friends from all different spaces. Yes, that's true. But go to a space like GNC. Those people clearly take supplements, right? Go to a gym space. Go to a space for people that like to work out or that have an interest that you have, like hiking. Or there's groups all over Facebook for people who have trouble sleeping, or people who are interested in nutrigenomics, or people that are interested in, any area that we help people with our product and with our business opportunity. There's more than enough places you can go to contact 10 people a day and just build your friend list up with people who would be interested in our product. The next one is check the team pages. This is one of those ones. It takes like half a second to get there and like 2 minutes to poke around for the daily things that are going on in that group. But there's multiple team pages. I know Travis has a team page. We have a team page. Please, 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 the person that invited you to this webinar, that invited you to be a part of this company, just ask them. Most of the groups are private and you can't find them on your own. Just ask them to add you to the team page. You're gonna find the webinar schedule. You're gonna find daily trainings. We do Facebook Lives. We put motivational things. If there's an update with corporate, like everything you need to know is in that page, including a units section. And under units, you're gonna find tons of training. There's no lack of information about the products, the business. That's where you'll find team training tips and scripts. And so please, please be in the pages and check them at least once a day. The next one is start a social media chat. So I know it's not always comfortable because it's my least favorite thing, is to just pick one of the people you added from your social media contact in your space and just start chatting with them about something that you have together, a bond, a picture that they posted that you're interested in, something they said that you feel the same way. You can go onto their page, like a couple of their posts, and then private message them and say, hey, that was a cool post. Looks like you're into health. Me too. What do you do to stay healthy? Whatever it is. Now, starting a social media chat once a day, by the end of the month, you should have 30 new friends that are ready to be prospected.
All right, text intros. That's very simple. Everybody can do that. If you look at your phone right now, you probably have 100 or more contacts in there. Some people have thousands of contacts. I love the way Tina actually taught me how to do this. Start with A, and you go down to Z, and just start a conversation with somebody like, hey, it's been a long time since we've had a conversation. Just found out about something that I thought you might be interested in. When's the very next time you can have a minute to call me? Things like that. When you're being specific about it, you're letting them know there's some urgency there. But 3 of those a day, it takes literally less than 40 seconds to do 3. And that's if you're using one finger to text it.
So when we say a text intro, that's 3 times a day that you send a specific and purposeful text. Not like, hey buddy, what's going on? That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about, it might take 10 texts for you to be able to specifically text with 3 people and then get a response. Specifically, the purpose is for this business or this product, okay? Here's a couple of the scripts that are working that we've been using. They're very simple. Came across my path when I saw the word instant gratification nutrition. Your name popped into my head. I felt compelled to reach out. I'd love to send you some free samples just to get your opinion or your personal testimony. Would you do me a favor and check out the short video? Then send me your mailing address. Seems to work. Most people if they're in your phone and you know them, they're willing to do you a favor, right? For the business, it might look something like this. I'm launching a new business. It's already looking like the biggest thing I've ever done. I'm so excited about this. It keeps me up at night. It's just launched in the US. No one knows about it. We're in a whisper campaign. Locking arms with me right now will give you a tremendous benefit from my personal efforts, which is a huge advantage. It may or not be for you, but the last thing I want is for you to come back in 6 months and say, I can't believe you didn't tell me about this, so I'm telling you about it. Would you take a look? Even if it's just to let you know what you're saying no to. most people would, this is very non-confrontational, right? These are very easy things to type out. They don't have to be this long. I just wanted to put several different aspects in there. This is another one that's working well. So let's just start with the step one, okay? Step one is the text intro. What is step two? Well, when they say yes, what do? Right? You send them the video with the product details. Okay? Especially if they say yes, they'd like some free samples. We are blessed to have a sample program. A lot of companies don't. So it's just buying on information only. Now we can sell to people on them trying the product, which is fantastic. We've had now 5 people who've said that they went to send people samples, and after sending them the video, people went to their website and ordered before the samples even showed up on their front door. How fantastic is that, right? So step 2, send them the samples, but don't send them the samples blindly. Make them do, they're not paying for them, so make them do something to get the samples, which is watch a video. Would you be able to watch a video in the next 24 hours before the samples show up on your front porch, right? Step 3, let them know you're gonna text them the video, let them know you can put them in the mail today, send them the video, you can do it through YouTube. The videos are on YouTube, they're in your back office. The sample video is in your back office of APL Go. It's also in the team pages. We have testimony pages, several of them, and this video is located in those testimony pages. If it's okay with them, you can add them to the group and just tag them on that video. While they're in the group, they might just do more than watch the video. They might actually scroll through some of the testimonies. Wouldn't that be great, right? But then you got to follow up, right? And the follow-up is key. And that comes down to our next set of things you need to do on a daily basis. 5 of those are follow-ups, okay? The key to this business, if you send out 50 email or 50 samples, but you're not following up with anybody to find out what they liked best about the samples, you're just losing money, okay? Don't do that. So 5 follow-ups every single day. If you're doing all these things on your daily list, you're gonna have probably double or 3 times that many follow-ups.
And when you ask them about the products, don't say, well, did you like them or not? I would say, which one of those drops did you love the most? So you're already implying that they're gonna have to pick one that they like the most, and not giving them the opportunity to say a yes or no answer, right? So you can build upon whatever answer they're giving you, and that you know they took the product.
So, you know, new contacts, getting them to watch the video. So some of these things you're doing, there's only 22 things a day, and some of them are overlapping, because if you send a text intro and then they agree to watch the video, now you just checked off 2 boxes, right? This is not difficult things. It's just, again, consistent action. A social media entry, okay. Pictures of the product are fine, but don't just put a box of the product on your post and think people are gonna go, ooh, what's that? Because they don't do that. You guys know that, right? Put something interesting about the product, a benefit about the product itself. We do suggest don't put your personal link on there. The whole purpose of putting something on social media is to get people to contact you back and either say, what's that? Or that's interesting, or tell me more, or can I try it, or can I have a sample? And if your website is right there on the post, then there's no reason to contact you. They're just gonna go straight to your website.
Yeah, you wanna create the curiosity. Then it leads to more questions, and then it leads to a conversation, and then it could lead to the invitation to, hey, would it be okay if I sent you a webinar link? You could come check, see the whole story. You know, and those are done a couple times a week now. So you could give them the first option, and well, that doesn't work for me, Kelly. Well, how about, you know, this time? Would that work for you? In fact, I'll be on there with you. I'll look for you and I'll say hi to you in the chat when I see you on there. Or you could do a 3-way call. You know, get them on the phone with the expert from afar. Either one of those is a great way to do the follow-up and complete the entire information that you're giving, putting out there.
So webinars, Zoom, or three-way calls, you should be doing one of those things every single day. And I know it's not happening because my phone is not ringing off the hook as it should, considering how many people are on the team with three-way calls. We have a webinar every night of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's no reason that every day you can't either get on a webinar with a prospect, get on a Zoom, or get on a three-way call. The last thing is adding people to our Facebook testimonies page. I think I put that in there once a day. Maybe I added that twice a day. But that's important. There's great testimonies on these pages, but if you don't put people in those pages, no one's gonna see it. So that's a great part of the follow-up process, which is I will send you these samples if you watch this video. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna put you in our Facebook testimony page group so I can show you what other people, because the third-party validation is very important in this kind of business, right? Especially for the business part. You know, you might be a guy who, you know, borrowed $5 from your best friend in third grade, and 25 years later, you're talking to him about a business opportunity, and he's saying, dude, you still owe me $5 from when we were 8 years old, right? It's not your story that's always going to be the validation point. You need a third person for that. So the testimonies group is great for that. Again, these webinars are also great for that. And that's it. If you can consistently do these things at the end of the month, your sheet is gonna look something like this. You're gonna have little check marks or little X's all over the sheet. Now, here's something that you're gonna learn about yourself as you're doing this. Two things. You're gonna learn what you're really great at, because you're gonna have check marks that go across every row for 31 days straight. The things you love doing, the things you're really great at. Then you're also gonna know some of these rows from 1 to 31 are blank. Those are the things you kind of suck at or that you hate doing. And you'll notice that once you start keeping track, you're gonna be like, man, I really don't like doing that. Look how many blanks there are. So that's when you go to your sponsor and you say, hey, do you have a good book? Do you have a recommendation on how I can learn to love this activity or get better at this activity? You will learn both of those things within the first 30 days. And then once you have your sheet, here's how you're going to calculate the total. You're gonna take the number of activities you did. Okay, for example, let's say you did 17 things in one day. You're gonna divide it by the number of activities on the sheet. Well, right now there's 22 on the sheet. And I'm not saying you can't add your own things on the bottom. If you think there's 3 things you need to additionally do every day, go for it. But what you cannot do is start 25 text chats or Facebook Messenger chats and then ignore the other 21 things on the list because you did 25 things that day. That's not how it works. It's the variety of activities that will get you the most benefits. You got to do all 22. If you do extra on top of that, A+, fantastic. But you got, let's say you have 17 activities on a particular day divided by the 22 you need to do every day. That's a 77% effort. Okay. So when I use this list in my businesses and I ask people, what is your percentage of activity today and yesterday and the day before? And they either don't have a number or it's, 12% or 15%. There's a reason you're not sponsoring enough people into your business. There's a reason you're not growing as a leader. There's a reason your business is not growing like you want it to do, because you're skipping some of these activities that you should be doing every day. So that's how you keep track. And I will tell you this, my goals that I personally set for me, in my first network marketing business, my first year, was like 1 person a week. And what I found is that if I was working at 78 or 80% or higher daily, I was always hitting that goal, always. The minute I dropped down to under 78%, or if I was averaging 65, 68%, I would sponsor 2 people instead of 4 a month. So set your goals, set your intentions, start working the activity sheet, and keep track. Now, as you get older in the industry and as you learn more, you will find. My goal hasn't changed. My goal is still 1 person a week. But what happened is I only have to work at like 60% now to hit that goal because I'm more skilled. And that will happen for you too, because that's what will happen when you work on the consistency.
So at the end of the day, here's, you can either have results or excuses, not both. I always like to say you either want to be right or you want to be rich. The right people are making excuses and questioning that any of this works. And well, the last 50 companies I did, nothing ever happened right. It was only the lucky people that made it work. And yet they're still in another business, right? Still complaining about the same things because they're consistently doing the things that don't work. And you just need to find people or use this sheet. This works. This has been proven over and over and over again. It absolutely works. And even though there's certain things on it that even I don't want to do, right? I'm not your biggest Facebook fan. And I know there's weird people out there that aren't even on Facebook that do this business. And that's okay. You could use LinkedIn. If you're a millennial, you could use Snapchat or Instagram or whatever else those new things are out there that I have no clue how to do, but they do. So you could use any social media medium that's going to work for you, but you got to do it, right? So like Tina said, if you're not checking all the boxes every day, it's okay. Doesn't mean you're a failure. We don't either. I don't check every single box every day. There's certain things on here I check a box every day during the month, but it's just being consistent. And the invitation here, the what's missing is maybe the things that you don't want to do, that you would call work, you'd have to work at just because you don't know how to do it great or you're just new to it. My invitation is to take that on, like do the things you don't want to do the most and just see if your results go up. You can measure your results by using this sheet. And that's what works in this business, is having measurable results. Because cleaning up your desk and getting a new computer and a new binder and a new calculator and a new, pen holder and pencils and, custom shirts and new hats and the bling, all that stuff is great. You got spirit. Yes, you do. But here's the thing. It's not going to produce results in your business. And sorry, there we go with the hands again. I'm just going to hold my hands like this. It's not going to produce results in your business. But what will do it is taking on some of the things that you might consider a little bit like work and making it work and become an expert at it. Master the mundane, which is really about everything on here. Literally a 10-year-old can do these activities. They probably do harder stuff in school than this sheet right here, and they call it fun. So I'm sure that, whatever you have to do to overcome that, either get an accountability partner that you guys can work on it together, or put yourself in a position that you could carve out whatever time it's going to take to do 80% of this. Try and do most of them. Try and start with 15 out of 22 and then go up from there. And then those last few boxes that are difficult, just start once a week, taking that on to where you could check at least that you tried doing it, each one of those boxes, and you can measure your results. And I promise you, if you do it over a long period of time, there's 2 great books out there, by the way, The Compound Effect, and there's Atomic Habits. And both those books are very similar in what they say, but they're so true. It's just making micro adjustments every day. And you measure that over a year, and then you have these enormous results at the end of the year that were so subtle, you didn't notice them that, during that one day that you did it, but it added up to some monumental results at the end of the year. And that's what we're doing here. That's why this works, is you're just doing a little bit of activity once a day, that once you do it, it's going to start adding up to people being attracted to you. You're going to put yourself out there. You're going to conquer some of the things that you're maybe afraid of. And people are going to realize your dedication to your business, and they're going to feel your confidence and belief especially the follow-up. And I'll do one last thing and I'm done. Somebody asked me, how many times do you follow up? You never stop following up. Never. There's somebody that might be on here, I don't know. I've been following up on him for 2 years. The company even changed. But I still followed up. And guess what? He's on board now, but it was 2 years. So you have a pipeline of people that you know that this would be great for them, and it's going to be an addition to their life. So you just don't stop and you keep going. And guess what? Sooner or later, you're going to have thousands of those people that they may say no today, but things may change. Look what happened this year to so many families across the globe. Their lives got turned upside down. So like in January, when they're laughing at you because, oh, you're doing network marketing, I wouldn't be caught dead doing that. And 2 months later, they're calling you up like, dude, what's that thing you're doing? I need to make some money, and I need to make some money quick. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I just lost my job. They shut down forever. Sorry I made fun of it. How do I get started? So you just don't know what position people are going to be in at any given time. That's why you want to always follow up with them and just say, hey, I know you said no the last time we talked. Can I give you some of the results that happened since? And, has things changed? Are you open to listening to maybe starting something on the side? Because now, given the circumstances this year, pretty much everybody needs to have something on the side. Don't you agree? All right, now I'm done.
No, that was excellent. Keep it going, baby. Keep it going. I do love the idea of getting an accountability partner. I think it would be really cool for the rest of the month, because we're starting this on the 14th, this day. Tomorrow's the 15th. You've got 2 weeks. Get an accountability partner, somebody that you can send this to every day. Take a picture of it, send it through Facebook, whatever it is, and have them send it back to you every day. And let's just see what will happen. 2 weeks, we've got 105 people on this call. Could you imagine if all 105 people, all of you and us, did this consistently for 2 weeks straight? Can you imagine? I bet there'll be 350 people on the next training we do if everybody stays consistent. So is everybody okay and in agreement that they can find an accountability partner in this group, in this team, and do this with us? Yes? I think that's fantastic. And there's lots of people right here in the chat who are looking for a partner. Please don't make it your best friend or your husband, because, I can get Kelly out of doing just about anything. Let's give him a little sugar, right? And then I'm like, I didn't do my accountability sheet today, babe. It's okay, right? We don't want that, right? We don't want that. No husbands, no best friends. Pick an accountability partner, maybe a stranger, someone you don't know yet. And this is a great way to bond and make new friends and keep each other accountable. And if we want to have a Facebook page just called APL Go Accountability, we can do that. And you guys can post it on there every single day, so we can see what you're up to. We can see what you're struggling with. We can see where your strengths are and your weaknesses. We're happy to do that with you guys. So let's work on that tonight. I will make sure Travis gets this and puts it in your guys' team page. It is in our team page. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget, next week's training is Big Al, and he's going to be fantastic. So we will see you guys on the next one.